At what point are you going to do
Good
that?
morning, everybody.
At some point.
Wake up.
Wake up, wake up.
In Provincetown.
Wait a minute.
This week featuring.
Wake up, wake up.
Wait, what about this?
Make it strong, please.
Whenever.
Okay.
Birthday?
Oh, yeah.
Who though?
I don't know, find one really fast.
No, really. Can I have some coffee? Wake up, wake up.
What we got?
Yeah.
We got,
Oh yeah. I don't know if I have that person's number though.
we got the full
Good
song
morning.
today. Hey, everybody, it's Friday, November 19th. It's the last Friday before Thanksgiving.
Woo.
What are you thankful for this year, Harry?
I'm thankful for everyone subscribing to our YouTube channel. If you're watching on Facebook, scoot over to our YouTube channel and watch there. I happened to stumble across our video on Facebook and I started watching it and I was like, wow, the quality on here is terrible.
On what, Facebook?
Facebook. The quality on YouTube is so much better.
Wait, it's not called Facebook anymore. It's called Meta.
No, it's called Facebook. The
It is?
company that owns it is now Meta.
That's very meta.
Yeah.
So wait, it's still called Facebook.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's owned by Meta rather than Facebook being owned by Facebook.
Huh. I'm thankful for you.
Aww.
I'm also thankful for my husband, Peter Sullivan,
Cute.
who lost his wedding ring last week.
Oh, did Peter find his ring?
No.
Oh. Did he find a metal detector? So, if you're not on Provincetown Community Space, first of all, good for you. Second of all, Peter, Bob's husband, posted on Community Space, which I was so surprised to see his name on there because he's not that person.
He's never posted in there ever.
Yeah. He was posting looking for a metal detector because he was apparently doing some yard work and his ring slipped off his finger.
He was doing a lot of putting on and taking off of yard gloves.
Did you check inside the gloves?
He did.
Okay.
And he checked all, he found a metal detector. He borrowed a metal detector from some friends of ours. And, you know, it went off a lot, but he didn't find anything. And then another friend was like, I have an even better metal detector. So he's just like, you know, upgrading metal detectors.
So if anyone has an even better metal detector, he could use that.
If you have the best one ever, we need it.
Great. But he did not find the ring.
No, the sad fact of the whole scenario is that he also was going to the dump a lot that day. So he thinks it might have fallen out
Somewhere
there.
over there.
And you know, they're constantly like pushing all that stuff into that giant pile. But like Mark said, if you're composting something 3 years from now, you might find it.
Yeah.
It could just turn up.
That actually, so my father lost his wedding ring when I was much younger. We lived in this house that had a long driveway that like sloped downward, so it washed all the sand from the driveway into like this part where we parked the cars. And my mother got out of the car one day, years after my father had lost the ring, and she would look down and she sees like a little circle in the sand, and she starts like kicking at it to see what it is, and then she realized that it's my father's wedding ring.
Years later?
Years, and they were so excited. That's not even the crazy part. The crazy part is we were getting our driveway paved 4 days later. Isn't that wild?
That's so. The craziest part is that Belinda Carlisle's #1 hit, "Circle in the Sand," is based on this story. Do you remember? You don't even know that song? Yeah, sorry. It's a joke for the older people in the room.
Great.
Circle in the sand.
I thought she just had that one song.
She was a go-go.
Yeah, well, yeah, but as a solo artist, I thought it was just Heaven is a Place on Earth.
She had a lot of solo hits. We're gonna have her on the show someday. She's gonna sing "Circle in the Sand" to your dad.
I love it. Can't wait.
Not to Peter.
No,
Wow.
so yeah, while we're still on that topic, he goes, well, now that I've lost my wedding ring, you'll just have to get me a nicer one. And I was like, is that how this works?
Yeah, I think you have to get your own now.
You get better stuff when you lose the first stuff?
He throws his ring. Bob throws his ring over his shoulder. He's like, I want diamonds.
This is why you can't have nice things, because you lose things.
Aw.
He loves when we look into the camera and talk at and to him. He's probably still sleeping. But no, it's sad because it was, I don't want to belabor this point, but it was it was a one-of-a-kind ring.
You bought it in Brazil, right?
We bought it in Brazil at not even a jewelry store, at this little artist studio, and the woman had made like a few rings, and we bought one of the rings, And we loved it so much that we went back a couple days later and we were like, can we have another one just like this? And she was like, no. She's like, they're one of a kind. That's the only one that's ever going to be made like that.
Aw.
So,
But your love is still there.
enduring.
Yeah.
Yes.
How was your week?
My week was so good. No, trivia was really fun. I didn't get to go to the Tuesday show that you went to. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
So every Tuesday at the Provincetown Brewing Company tap room.
For the next 6 Tuesdays.
For the next 6 Tuesdays, Kristen Becker is hosting a really fun event here Tuesday nights at 6 o'clock. They're doing a viewing of the Townie created show Off Season. I think it was filmed about 10 years ago, released in 2015, and they're showing 2 episodes a week. I have never watched it, and I was like, this is the time. This is when I should watch it. So I came Tuesday night with a few friends. We watched it. It was so much fun. A lot of people that were involved in the making of it were here. Kristen was a really incredible host. It just felt like a really incredible community event. But in the first 2 episodes, Bob is heavily featured, and he does a really fantastic job.
Oh, thank you.
Best acting in a wig, 2015.
I didn't get to go. I also can't go next Tuesday. But episodes 4 and 5 were the 2 that I wrote. So I would like to go to those 2, but I can't go next week.
Well, they also had an interview guest. They interviewed Frank Vasello, who is kind of the producer of the whole thing. He's also a featured actor in it, but they sat down and chatted with him about about how they produced it, how they created it, the work that went into it, and it's a really cool story.
There were 14 episodes. It took us 2 winters to do it on a shoestring, like less than a shoestring.
They said they only spent $20,000, which was all fundraised, which I think is really amazing, and also a testament to the town and how much they support projects like this.
And most of that $20,000 went to craft services.
Really?
It was to buy us food. Like we would work like 10-hour days and they would buy us food. We were mostly shooting at locations that we were allowed to use for free.
Right.
So like you see us in Town Hall and at the Red Inn and
The jail,
in
Stop and
Relish,
Shop.
all over the place.
Soup kitchen.
Yeah, so everybody let us shoot at places and we had to feed ourselves.
That's cute.
Long, long days. That was a lot of work. If you've ever made an independently produced television show,
Does this count?
no. Well, this is even more shoestring.
Right.
A flip-flop budget. I like that. I'm going to steal that from you.
But it was a lot of fun, so come on Tuesday and check that out. Also, this coming Monday, we are moving trivia to 6 o'clock, just a little earlier. I think it's a little easier for people to get here at 6 rather than 7. We're really excited. We're actually going to go virtual again. So if you aren't in Provincetown or you just would rather play from your couch, you can follow the Provincetown Brewing Company on Facebook, and we go live from there every Monday at 6 o'clock through the winter. It's actually not very hard to play. You watch along, you type your answers in an email, and then you email it to Trevor, and Trevor includes it. It's a lot of fun.
We did it virtually for most of that last year.
Yeah. Basically, we did it from the beginning of the pandemic every Monday through basically this June. And we stopped doing it virtually for the summer just because it was a lot of work when we also had a full tap room here and we had 10 to 15 teams playing in person here. We put it on pause, but it is back next week.
Oh, I hope some of our old friends that played all winter will come
Cabo
back.
Surfers,
People
Sonoma
all over the country.
Coronas,
Different
the
time zones.
Shorties. Yeah.
Oh, I have a gift card for Brian Maysfield in a drawer in my house.
Great.
From like a trivia from like a year and a half ago.
Great.
You're getting your gift card, Brian. It's still there. Cafe Heaven will be back open in May.
I love it.
What did you do Wednesday? You didn't go to Halo.
No, I think I just chilled.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need a chill day every once in a while.
Yeah, I guess so.
Did you go?
Well, first, I won trivia at the Squealing Pig.
Oh.
So Katie's back doing trivia on Wednesdays at the Pig at 6:30. It's raucous. You know, ours is very people sit quietly and listen to the questions.
Yeah.
You take that for granted. And then you go to another trivia where there's constant noise and the host is, sort of forced to scream and curse at people.
Does she have
the
a
whole time.
microphone? I can't remember.
She does have a microphone, not that she needs it. She can project, is what I'm saying.
She's got a great
Rack.
projection. Yeah.
No, our team name was My Huge Rack, so that Katie would have to go, My Huge Rack is in the lead. I don't know if she enjoyed it as much as we did. It's a juvenile joke, but I loved it anyway. And then we won.
Congrats.
You get a $50 gift card to the Pig.
Do you feel like you're better at trivia from hosting trivia?
Yes, actually, for sure.
Because you learn stuff, or because you just understand trivia more?
Because I learned so. I just know a lot of useless information, which is what trivia is all about.
Yeah, as we write our 10 question rounds, it's like reading 20 Wikipedia articles.
Yeah, you just go down
Every
the
week.
rabbit hole and then you know a whole bunch of more stuff that you're never going to need to know.
Yeah, exactly. It's
Yeah,
fun.
it was great.
Yeah.
It was fun to win. And then we left trivia and went right over to Halo, which I swear, it's like,
I saw a picture, it was like August.
it's like the busiest nightclub in town.
Cute.
Wednesday nights at Cafe Heaven. I hear they may even continue doing it all winter. Right, Mark?
He's shaking his head, yes.
No, Quinn was like, do you want me to kill myself? And I was like, no, but it's so much fun and it's
No,
so
I want
busy.
you to make me blackout drunk on a Wednesday.
How could you stop doing it when it's so busy and so fun?
Mm.
And community building, that's the most important part. Not the tequila shots, the community building.
I do feel like people are, do you know the deal with Porch Bar?
Yes, it's open Thursday, Friday, and Saturday from
Okay.
7 to 1.
Great.
Tom Crowley is essentially running it.
Great.
Yeah.
But that used to be 7 days, and I feel like a lot of people are itching for like that spot to go to run into friends and hang out, and I feel like that's why Halo's so successful, and they also make great drinks and have a lot of fun people there.
The music is great, the people are nice, the drinks are strong. It's just really fun. And then it ends, and then everybody goes over to the little bar. I could tell the last couple of Wednesday that guy is just like, oh my God, who are all these people? What's happening right now?
It's like not a single person needs more liquor.
Definitely not me.
a great night all around for the whole town. Trickle down economics. It trickled from Halo over to the little bar. We're gonna put a positive spin on that phrase.
Great.
And then Thursday, oh my God, we have our friend who just moved into a new place for the winter. It's his first winter here, and he hosted a dinner party.
Yeah, it was really cute.
It was really cute. The food was really good. It's nice to see somebody like making a home out of their place, you know?
Yeah.
It was great.
He also has that virtual reality thing, which was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like Ready Player One, that thing
Yeah.
that goes
We'll have a
over it.
video of Bob flying next week.
Really?
No. Unless we go back and play.
I really thought you were going to do that. He was recording people like, you
My
know.
phone died. I would have loved to have shared that video with you because it was quite fun to watch.
It's very realistic. You
Yeah.
feel like you're going to fall, and you're standing in the middle of a living room with everybody else watching you almost fall. Yeah. I'm glad you enjoyed that. How nice of you.
Yeah. We talked about it on last Friday's show because Bob said that Britney was out of her conservatorship, and I said that actually wasn't true. She wasn't quite out of it yet.
Oh,
and
really?
then, like an hour after the show, it got announced that the conservatorship was ended.
See?
So Britney is officially freed. She has a debit card again. She can use her own car.
She's allowed to drive around?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
My trivia around this past Monday was freed Britney. It wasn't much about Britney, but I did want to include a question too about her and her conservatorship. And as I was reading about it, I was astonished. She had a $2,000 a week budget, which I know is like a lot. That was her allowance. But when you're a multimillionaire, to only be allowed to use $2,000 a week of the money that you've worked so hard to create. Meanwhile, the lawyer overseeing the conservatorship makes $2 million a year from it.
He was making $2 million a year?
And it's just Britney's money. Britney had to pay her, basically the estate, I guess, of Britney Spears had to pay the lawyer. Well, meanwhile, she's making all that money and only getting $2,000 a week.
Yeah, that's a shame.
Yeah.
But it's over.
Yeah. She has a debit card again, which she never had apparently.
Oh my gosh.
For 14
so
years.
Weird.
It's bizarre.
But now we'll get like Circus 2 or Blackout 2.
I can't wait. Or we'll never get fucking music again, and she will just continue dancing around in those peasant tops in her living room, living her best life, which is what I hope. I hope we get whatever she wants.
I hope we get a new album.
If she doesn't want to ever make music again, that's just fine.
No, it's not. It's not fine. Britney, please. An album of your own choosing and making. Like they were picking everything for her before. Now she can pick who she works with. She can do that like long-awaited duet with Christina Aguilera.
That would be great.
Wouldn't that be awesome?
Yeah.
That's what I'm hoping
She
for.
should do like a duets album.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
60.
What'd you say?
I feel like when you turn 60, you do it.
Yeah. Like how old was Elton?
Tony
Elton,
Bennett and Lady
right.
Gaga. Congratulations.
Yeah,
Britney.
congrats, Britney.
So what's the weather like this weekend, Harry?
Not as warm as it was yesterday.
Yesterday was like 65 and sunny. I hope everybody that was around got to get outside for a little bit.
Yeah,
It was
it-
marvelous.
It was kind of wild. I met up with a friend just to kind of like walk around town, and he was wearing shorts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Peter
but-
went and did the bike trail. He ran into Trevor and Trevor's new beau.
Trevor does not have a new beau.
No, Andrew is like, wait, I was with Trevor yesterday.
Right.
So Peter was like, who's Trevor's new boyfriend? And I was like, describe him. And then he described you poorly. And then I was like, I don't know who you're talking about. Let me ask Trevor who he was with.
But this weekend it's going to be a little cooler. Highs in the 40s today and tomorrow. Lows in the 30s today. So it's going to be a little chilly than we're used to. Sunday it's going to be rainy but a little warm. So I don't know if you're going to get any good clamming weather this weekend.
Well, the tides are not cooperating at any rate. So low tide today is at 5:25 p.m., but sunset is at 4:16. So if you do go clamming this afternoon, you will be plunged into darkness, like the clams themselves. And Sunday,
You'll be buried in the sand.
low tide is at an even worse time. It's at 6:44 p.m. But it's at 6:09 a.m. So honestly, Sunday morning at like 5, I mean, I'm always like out and about Sundays at 5 in the morning. Aren't you?
No.
You said you wake up at 6 o'clock.
Just on Fridays. And I explained to you what I actually do before the show, and he's like, you wake up and then lay in bed for an hour and a half.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Have you ever been clamming?
Yeah.
You have?
Yeah.
I carried her.
You carried him?
Right. Last week I talked about my friends piggybacking me across the like deep water that you have to trudge through sometimes. It was Mark. Yeah.
You
Thank you.
piggyback rode him.
I just had like regular boots.
Oh, right.
Not the best.
Mark is such a good friend. So thoughtful.
Yeah.
I can't go climbing this weekend anyway because I'm leaving town
Where are you going?
right after the show. I'm going to upstate New York
Fun.
to visit Brad and Joel at their new
Cute.
place. Yeah,
That's exciting.
it is exciting.
That's like
Elisa's
new
gonna be
P-Town,
there.
upstate New York, right?
It is. Like the Hudson Valley is becoming a whole new thing.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't been there since. So they bought this house a couple years ago, maybe 2, and we all saw it before they like officially took it over. And it has like all these little cottages. It's this huge sprawling property by this river
Cute.
in a little town called Leeds. It's so cute. It's like bucolic. It's adorable. Just a little R&R away from town.
Sounds great.
Can you do me a huge favor?
Maybe.
So I think I was saying last Friday I started one of those new meal delivery kits.
Oh, we got to eat your food?
It comes on Fridays. So like I'm gonna be gone and a box of food is gonna be sitting on my front step later. Will you get it and put it inside in the fridge?
I'll probably forget. Text me.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
I'll ask Mark. He's the thoughtful, kind,
Exactly.
considerate
Put it in
friend.
your fridge. I'm taking it home.
Yeah, exactly.
I know, I know.
Free food at Bob's house.
It's not free.
Free to them.
I know,
When they
yeah.
take it.
No, I'm excited to go to New York though. I'll be back in time for trivia though, don't worry.
Great. Yeah. Another fun thing happening this weekend. Is it this weekend?
It's the Mr. Leather pageant, right?
Oh, it is? That's this weekend?
New England Leather. They're gonna award a winner. They're gonna crown somebody, right? Yeah, there's
Oh.
always something going on here.
It's not this weekend. I'll talk about it next week.
What is it?
No, there's a few Provincetown artists going down to Miami the first weekend in December for Art Gazel, which is a smaller queer arts event happening at the Hotel Gathering in Miami.
I love the Gathering.
Yeah, as part of the Art
Basel.
Basel, great. I don't know how to say it. Festival. But there are 4 artists that I know of from town that are going. Jimmy Lee, Josh Wilmuth, Benoit, and also Gaston.
Paul Rizzo.
And Paul Rizzo. Are there more?
I think so.
Just that there are. Great. But it's really exciting to see a really strong Provincetown showing in Miami for a really fun, cool art festival. So that's super exciting. We'll keep you posted on it next week.
Julian Sear says he is one of the judges for the Mr. New England Leather pageant.
Oh, cute.
I know, fun.
Is he going to come in leather?
Julian, are you going to come in leather? What?
Nothing.
What?
Nothing.
Maybe. We'll see. I think most of the events take place at the Crown and Anchor. Is that so? Jonathan. One day soon, we're going to get, finally, after all these months and weeks and years, we're going to get Jonathan to sit in front of the camera and talk to us. You're going to let us interview you, right? About your
Yeah.
new venture? Yeah, but this is special. This is new. It's a new era. We need to talk about this whole new era in Provincetown.
It's exciting.
Did you read so I guess the Lindchrist Hotel Corporation, who owns the Harbor Hotel and the Surfside, are the people that are buying the Brass Key and the Crown Point. And of course, there was this like big post on the comm space where it was like, Lindchrist is proud to announce the purchase or the recent acquisition to our portfolio of the Brass Key and Crown Point guest houses. And the comments
I was like, have they ever been on Community Space before? Like, what a mistake.
Yeah, I'm like, it was
People are like, get out of our town.
scathing.
Yeah.
Like, ugh, yuck, puke emoji. I mean, people were just, you know, the word corporation turns off a lot of people.
And also, like, I don't love corporations coming to town, but I do think if corporations are going to come to town and kind of like put a lot of money into making some of the spaces in our town that are a little more run down into being really great, I think that could be a very good thing for the town. But like, they bought 2 spaces that are already pretty beautiful, so they're just going to come in and take money.
But also, it's a Massachusetts-based company. I believe it's family-owned.
Great.
So it's not like, you know,
Yeah.
as far as corporations go, it's not,
Yeah.
you know, Meta or whatever it's called.
Yeah. Facebook owns
It's not like
it
Mark Zuckerberg bought it.
soon.
And, oh my God, can you imagine?
Did someone buy the Governor Bradford?
Yes.
Yes.
Do we know
but
who?
Nobody knows who. You do know who?
Yeah.
Who?
That's what I heard too.
Who?
Poker Mouse.
This is an unconfirmed.
Yeah.
This is unconfirmed.
Yeah.
But that is the rumor.
How substantiated is this intel?
Pretty substantial.
It's fairly substantiated, but still a rumor.
So the Pilco,
Yes.
the Pilco Corporation.
Yes, the people who own the Pilgrim House.
Really?
It is
Congratulations,
rumored
Ken
that they have
and,
purchased
and
it.
Co.
Yeah.
No, not Ken.
No, not Ken. Maria?
and Co.
Oh, I don't know what I'm talking about.
No.
Wow, that's news to me.
Can we announce that other thing that got bought by?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay, go for it.
Oh, wait, what?
The other.
Oh, that? The LEI?
The what?
The-
Yes.
I mean, rumor has it as well that the Land's End Inn is being purchased, not by a corporation, but by some very lovely locals whose mission is to keep it kind of what it is, like an inn. There were rumors that, you know, somebody rich and famous from Los Angeles was buying it and turning it into a private home. That was just a rumor, as it turns out. And so that, to me, is a local success story.
Yeah.
Buying something and trying to maintain its heritage and its history and preserve some sort of, you know, community mindedness about it. Like they want to do artist residencies and.
Well, also, like, our community is the people who live and work here, but it's also the people who come here year after year. Especially working at the Red Inn, there's people like first week in September, there's people we see every year. At Bear Week, there's people we see every year. Family Week, there's people we see every year. And as much as those people only come once a year, that is very much a part of our culture and our community. And I think keeping a place like that, a guest house, is really great because it does contribute to our community.
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm really excited about that for the people involved and for the town and just for all of us. I hope that the people that are buying the Governor Bradford, you know, there's no way to keep it what it is.
Right.
Because, you know,
A
if you've ever
pile of wood.
if you've ever been in the basement there, then you've stood in standing water. And
There's no more standing water there.
right, but you know that they're gonna have to do something to it.
Oh yeah, of course.
To bring it up to like.
I was actually worried that it was going to just continue to fall into further and further into disrepair because it is in a floodplain.
Right.
So if you want to renovate and you spend more than 50% of the building's value on it, you would have to raise it to FEMA level standards, which just seems astronomical when it comes to cost, in my opinion.
Maybe they'll do that. Though.
Maybe, but I just figured no one was going to be able to afford to take on that project, but hopefully they are.
I mean, anybody that buys a sprawling property that costs, I mean, let's make a guess. Let's say that it costs $8 million.
Yeah.
No.
It was listed for 7.5, right?
It was listed
All
for.
of that property.
Yeah,
All
like
of the
55 units, like housing for more than 50 people.
Right.
What? They got rid of that? Wait, what do you mean? They're selling it off?
Yeah, which is fine-ish.
Tell that to the people who live there.
Right.
Wait a minute. So they bought all of it, but they're selling off little bits and pieces of it?
We don't know.
Right.
Mark, come sit over here.
We don't know. But if it's not 50% of the property's value, it's 50% of the building's value, which
Right.
means like, because in Provincetown the land is what is valuable, the
Right.
building not so much.
Uh-huh.
Like it's almost, if you fix a bathroom, you're doing 50% of the value of the building.
Right.
So
I guess what I'm saying is that anybody that's buying an $8 million property, it's probably not their last $8 million. So like, you know, they have money to fix it probably,
Right,
or to do
right.
stuff to it.
which is really exciting. I love the Governor Bradford as is. It has so much charm and is such a fun spot to hang out. But I'm excited to see how it grows and changes and continues to support our community.
This is our very kind and respectful way of saying, please don't wreck it.
Yeah, I don't think they will.
I don't think so either.
Yeah.
Right, Maria? Who's Maria?
I would just put a bed right where on the karaoke stage, be like, this is a single family home now. Because that was my last $8 million. Speaking of posts on the community space, I felt so bad for this gentleman who posted, he basically was asking, he's like, oh, we're not going to be in our condo much through the winter, and I was wondering if anyone had any suggestions for anyone who could winterize the condo, just because it's too expensive to pay the heat, considering we won't be there as much. And he was immediately lambasted by an endless amount of people criticizing him for being the reason Provincetown is falling apart, because you're rich and you only come when you want to come, and it's bad for the community. And the guy was like, okay, that's not me. I'm a school teacher. I bought this house with my partner in the early 90s when it was affordable. We would never be able to afford this now. Provincetown is such an important place to us. And I feel like it's important, as we view the problems that our community is facing, not to pile all those on top of anyone,
Right.
even the people who actually are those people.
Right. It's a very attacky site, that community
Yeah.
space.
Yeah.
You know, it's a Shark Tank. Like you got to expect that somebody or maybe a bunch of people that you don't know are going to attack you for whatever you say.
Yeah. And it's also, like, obviously I don't know everyone in this town, but there'll be a post like that with 200 comments on it, all tearing this person apart. And I will look through and be like, I don't know a single one of these people, a single one of these names. And I'm just like, who are they?
Right. There was somebody else also being like, it was about their cable bill. They were like, Xfinity wants to charge me $20 a month or something to like put my account on hold. And they're like, we're not even there. So like, should I cancel it? Somebody jumped down their throat. It's hard
But
out
like,
here.
cancel Comcast, it sounds.
Yeah.
Get an Apple TV. I don't
You don't have
understand.
Comcast?
I mean, for internet,
Oh.
but
Yeah, see, like once you have the bundle, then you might as well just keep it, right?
yeah. Bob, speaking of TV, what are you watching right now? It's winter time.
Oh.
It's winter time, so like, what we're watching is an important part of our lives at the moment.
Did I talk about the other two last week?
No, I do love that show. Talk
You
about
do?
it. Yeah, it's really cute.
So there's been 2 seasons of it. I just finished the first season. It's about these two 30-year-old-ish people, a brother and a sister, who are sort of not failures, but they haven't achieved their dreams yet. The guy's an actor, the girl was a dancer, and they have a 13-year-old brother who essentially becomes Justin Bieber.
Yeah, he like posts a YouTube video and like blows up overnight.
And the mom is played by Molly Shannon. The show's produced by Lorne Michaels, so there's all these SNL cameos and pop-ups, and I just think it's really funny.
Yeah.
So I've been loving that. I watched 9 episodes in one sitting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The brother is gay. The sister is the, like, not to use a derogatory term, but like fag hag in the best way possible. Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
It is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And I'm also, if you have Netflix, I've been watching The Movies That Made Us.
I love that. I just watched the Pretty Woman one.
If you enjoy filmmaking or how things get made, there's maybe 20 episodes total, and it's all movies that are essentially classics.
Yeah, and they like tell the story of the making of the film. The Pretty Woman was super interesting. I also watched The Toys That Made Us, which is, I watched the one about Power Rangers, which is so fun because like that was me as a little kid. Like I was that age when Power Rangers came out to be obsessed with it all. Right. There's one about Barbie, which I just loved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else are you watching?
I'm watching Q-Force, which I don't know if you watched, but it's Sean Hayes who created and produced it. He's also it's a cartoon, and it's he voices the main character. Also, who else? Wanda Sykes voices a character. The guy from Stranger Things who plays like the sheriff voices a
Oh, yeah.
character. Yeah, but it's about a group of queer spies. And it's a lot of fun. Whenever I hear about a queer TV show, I'm always like, is it gay TV made for straight people or gay TV made for gay people? And I do feel like this is gay TV made for gay people.
Sean Hayes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah, he does a really good job. It's tons of fun. It's 22-minute episodes, so that it's an easy watch. But it's laugh out loud funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fun.
Yeah. But speaking of what we're watching, I don't know if y'all remember or you remember, but last winter I was talking a lot about Pooch Perfect.
I don't
The
remember
dog
that.
grooming show with
Oh,
Rebel
right.
Wilson and Lisa Vanderpump. But I remember as I was talking about it, I was talking about how incredible the artistry of the dog grooming that happened on the show. But I also remember telling everyone to watch because there was an extremely cute man on it. His name was Gabriel. And something really crazy happened. Halloween weekend, I forgot to tell y'all. But I come home from being out on Halloween at like 1:30 in the morning. I get home and Gabriel, that cute guy from Pooch Perfect, is sitting at my dining room table. It turns out he's a good friend of my roommate Samuel. I had no idea. He was visiting. He's from LA. He was visiting for the weekend, and I just like entirely fangirled out. And I was like, I host a morning talk show, and all last winter I was talking every week. I would talk about the show, and I would sell it as you being on it because you're so cute. And he's like, oh my god, thank you. And I was like, oh, my favorite groom was the one with the fish eating the dog. And he's like, oh, I sell a t-shirt with that. And I was like, yeah, I put it in a cart once and like never hit buy because that's what I do with everything. And he's like, oh, I brought one that I was wearing, you can have it.
Is that it?
Yeah.
OMG.
So he gave me the t-shirt.
That's so sweet.
Yeah. Thanks, Gabriel.
Did you then invite him to a boy beach orgy?
Did not. It was a little cold for that.
No.
Yeah. I hate you. But it was really fun meeting him, and it's very much one of those things that is part of the magic of living in P-Town.
Yeah, you never know who's going to be sitting at your dining room table.
At 1:30 in the morning on Halloween weekend. But, he was just as cute in real life and very sweet and kind and generous. Yeah.
Before we have our chat with Mr. Dennis Minsky, we're going to play our call-in game for your consideration, where you can win a $25 gift card to the Red Inn. I'm going to read to you a classic movie monologue, and the first person to call in and guess the name of the movie correctly will win that gift card. Harry, what's your phone number?
So you're going to call 617-676-7597. As soon as you know the movie that this monologue is from, movie, TV show?
It's a movie.
Okay. As soon as you know either where this is from, give us a call and you will win a $25 gift card to the Provincetown Brewing
Company.
The Red Inn.
The Red Inn.
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
Sorry, that's my trivia spiel. I got lost there.
Get your spiel straight.
Yeah.
Spiel straight.
So it's 617-676-7597. Take it away, Bob.
You are to shoot the presidential nominee through the head. And Johnny will rise gallantly to his feet and lift Ben Arthur's body in his arms, stand in front of the microphones and begin to speak. The speech is short, but it's the most rousing speech I've ever read. It's been worked on here and in Russia, on and off, for over 8 years. I shall force someone to take the body away from him, and Johnny will really hit those microphones and those cameras with blood all over him, fighting off anyone who tries to help him, defending America even if it means his own death, rallying a nation of television viewers to hysteria, to sweep us up into the White House with powers that will make martial law seem like anarchy. Now, this is very important. I want the nominee to be dead 2 minutes after he begins his acceptance speech, depending on his reading time under pressure. You are to hit him right at the point that he finishes the phrase, "Nor would I ask any fellow American in defense of his freedom that which I would not gladly give myself, my life before my liberty." Is that absolutely clear? Nobody?
No.
Oh, you know it. Mark wants to call in.
I got one. Hello, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, it's Gaston.
Oh my god, we were just talking about you. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from my gallery in Provincetown.
Cute. What's your guess?
It sounds like the Manchurian Candidate.
It is the Manchurian Candidate.
Cute. Congrats, Gaston. You just won a $25 gift card to the Red Inn.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks for
We'll
calling
see you
and
soon.
playing.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
What'd you say? No, that was from the Angela Lansbury version.
Angela
Yeah.
Lansbury?
Yeah, Meryl Streep played the role in 2004. Angela Lansbury originated it in the 60s, 50s. She was nominated for an Oscar for this,
No way.
Angela Lansbury, yeah.
I did just want to talk about something that's a little on the sadder side. One of our favorite regulars at the Red Inn and a really incredible person who came to visit Provincetown every summer passed away this past week. His name was Didi. He was really incredible, so much fun, so sweet, so generous. You couldn't be within 15 feet of him without him offering you a glass of champagne. He had a really beautiful Great Dane, and he was one of the highlights of my summer every year was seeing him, because I know I'd be waiting on him for a week or two, for the next week or two, and I'm very sad that won't be happening again. We'll miss you, Dee Dee.
Please, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show an actual town treasure, Mr. Dennis Minsky. Thank you so much for your time.
Jump on in.
How are you?
I'm fine.
You might know Dennis from the Whale Watch tours. You might know him from his Outer Cape walking tours. You might know him from the newspaper column that he writes, or any number of things that you do. A lot.
Speaking of what I do, I have to say I was so impressed by your reading there.
Oh.
You really have a dramatic flair, and
Thank you.
I'm quite impressed.
Thank you very much.
Quite the actor, Bob.
Yeah, and I've enjoyed watching you these past few minutes waiting to come on. I have to say, I wrote one column about the digital divide.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't aware of your existence. I know your face, and now I know your name. And your name,
I'm Harrison.
Harrison. Great name.
Thank you.
Named after the president. no doubt.
Exactly. Or of course no. But,
Named after Ford.
no.
But now I'm aware of your show, and I will watch it religiously.
Thank
Great.
you. Thank
We
you
love
very
that.
much.
Sure.
Now, you've been living here since the 60s.
Late 60s.
Can you tell
Don't make
everybody
me too old.
a little bit about your personal relationship with Provincetown? What brought you here? What made you stay?
My God, my personal relationship with Provincetown is the whole reason I write, because I maintain that, and I said this to Norman Mailer once at a public forum, I don't think anyone has ever captured the magic of this town. And that's all I try to do, scrape away little bits of it in everything I do. But yeah, I was hitchhiking, in 1968, the bus did not come to Provincetown during the week, only on the weekends. So I arrived in Hyannis, a Wednesday or whatever it was, and found I couldn't get to Provincetown, and I didn't want to be in Hyannis. I knew that much. So I got out on the road and hitchhiked. I also wrote a whole column about the joys of hitchhiking then and now, mostly then. And a guy named Johnny Lisbon picked me up. He's now passed away. Brought me to Provincetown, took me to Ciro and Sal's, got me a job, found me a place to stay on Standish, where I think Tony Costa was a housemate of mine.
Really?
Yeah, he was there at the same time I was, but I don't know. At any rate, that was it, and I've been here ever since. Off and on, I've had to leave to make a living, like probably many of you, but now I don't make a living, so I just live here.
I love that.
So yeah, I've been involved in many aspects of the town.
You helped start the piping plover program?
No, I didn't help start it. Oh, well, yes, I did. Back in the 70s, I was the first quote-unquote turn warden. It's a British term. Wardens, when they take care of wildlife, they're wardens. So yes, I did that. I closed the first beach to vehicles. Some of you will applaud and some of you will curse. Back in the 70s, and now it's done all the time. So yeah, that was part of my past. Yeah. So yeah, I've driven for Arts Dune Tours for a number of years, and I worked at Ciro and Sal's for 26 years.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Parts of, and been on the Dolphin now for 26 years. This is what happens as you get older. You have a little more to look back on. I've also been in town government, various committees. I'm on the Conservation Trust. The president, William Mullen, said, talk about the trust. Talk
We
about
had
the
him
trust.
on. Yeah.
He's on fire, that guy.
Yeah.
We want to save land. We want to save land, and I do. I was on the Conservation Commission for 12 years, various other committees, open space. So, but I go on.
I want to talk to you for a second about the Whale Watch tour, because I was reading your column specifically about the little boats that follow you out there and don't always behave correctly, because I have to admit I've been on one of those little boats a time or two. You know, you follow the big boat because they know where they're going, and then you know, I want to say that we've never done the things that you were talking about.
What are the things?
Just like driving through the bubbles and disrupting the whales' lives and hitting them, and you know, can you just tell everybody a little bit about the correct way to behave when you're out there watching them?
Yes, but I have to say, I'm impressed by your research.
Oh, I did all my homework on you.
You know, when you watch Terry Gross or whatever, she's read the book, she's ready with the... yeah, it's, I mean, we all do this, don't we? If we were walking in the woods or something, we see a beautiful animal, we want to get close, we want to enjoy it. We have to respect that animal as well. And these animals are on the ropes. The whales are really beleaguered is not an overstatement. It's not hyperbole. So the correct way is to keep your distance. The correct way is never, ever influence their behavior. You should be a bystander. So certainly when it's a cow-calf pair, a mother with a baby, you don't get between them. Certainly if there's any feeding behavior going on, you don't disturb that. But well over half of humpback whales and well over 70 or 80% of the right whales, which is a whole other heartache, have scars on them from either encounters with boats or entanglement in fishing gear. So I've seen boats strike whales. Now these are small boats, and they're probably not going to kill the whale, but I'm sure it's not good for them either.
Right.
So we need better enforcement. We need somebody out there directing traffic. Sad but true. Did I answer the question?
You did, yeah.
Is your advice kind of just don't follow the dolphin fleet in general,
Well,
or like
no,
buy a
I
ticket?
mean, you know, whales are wonderful, and if you have a small boat, I mean, sure, go out and try to be with them. Do it responsibly.
Totally.
It's the way you drink and the way you do other things responsibly.
We try.
Yeah, we try.
No, I also,
Harris and I agree.
so, I mean, I was telling everybody before you came, I'm like, he's one of my favorite columnists that writes for the paper.
Aw.
I try to read you every couple of weeks when you're in there.
Aw.
And there was one about drinking and like watering
yes.
holes in town, specifically bars that aren't restaurants, just bars, places to go that you just drink. And you rattled off a list of places that are no longer with us. And
Oh,
right,
yeah.
right before you got here, we were talking about the tremendous amount of change that the whole town is going through right now with all
Yeah.
these giant hotels selling. I mean, like from 68 till now, you must have seen so much change.
Well, I remember a Howard Johnson's in town,
Wow.
which became Michael Shea's, which is now 350 Bradford Street.
Jonathan's house.
Yeah? Sure, seen a lot of change. However, I think Provincetown, a lot of change, but I think Provincetown is less changed than Truro, maybe Wellfleet, certainly Down Cape, Brewster. Brewster had, I'm probably wrong on this, but I think it's doubled in size since the 80s, you know, with lots of developments. So if you walk down the street in Provincetown, you have a feel for what it was like 100 years ago. There changes behind the scenes, but yeah. I remember the A House in the 60s, in the 70s. You know, the 60s were really the 70s. You know? I got here in '68. But the A House was a place to go. Everyone went there, and they had big name entertainment there, big name, and everybody went there. I don't know. You'll have to tease my memory.
Well, Mark wants us to ask you about the dog walking trail.
The rail trail.
The rail trail, the dog poop on the rail trail.
Oh man.
Did we
Say
find
whatever you
Did we
want.
find him?
Well, I called the Secretary of Interior yesterday. It's a tough. I believe it's one dog, and I believe it's one owner. I was working with our dog officer, who is sadly on leave, I think medical leave, and we put out flyers. I don't want to put out signs because dogs can't read.
The owners can't either, it seems.
Apparently not. So it's a tough nut to crack, but there is one stretch. I mean, you'll find excrement anywhere, here and there. Some of it's wild, coyote and so on. But that one stretch, I believe, is one dog. And we're working on it. We're working on it.
The problem persists.
Yes. Although I have to say, candidly, I have not been out there that much because I hold, I could show the camera, the second tick out of my body in a week.
Really?
So I do the beach now, not the woods, until we get a frost. The ticks are crazy. And I went to Outer Cape Health. He told me I was the fourth person that day to come in with a tick bite.
Oof. No, I went for a walk on a trail. Didn't think I got against any brush
Same,
or anything,
yeah.
and still had 3 ticks on me when I got home.
Yep.
I always go on a trail and lint roll myself with one of those sticky rollers.
Yeah.
Get
they're
them
so
off.
tiny now.
I
too.
know.
They're cute when they're little.
Are they? Are they?
When are you picking back up your Outer Cape walking tours?
Well, we're talking about a New Year's Day walk.
Yep.
That's with the Conservation Trust, William, Provincetown Conservation Trust. So we're going to do a New Year's walk, maybe Claps Pond. We're not sure where. We'll advertise that.
That's the trail I was on.
The Outer Cape Tours, Ann Wood, who runs those, is in the Netherlands right now. So I don't think we'll have any off season, but I think that's a great idea, and I hope it grows because I think ecotourism is the name of the game, and she's sort of a pioneer in that. There are just 3 hotels that were involved. If you stayed in those establishments, you could go for a free walk on the bay, in the dunes, in the woods. There was the ghost tour, and the X-rated tour with Billy and so on.
There was an X-rated tour?
With
R-rated,
Billy
I
Huff.
guess. I don't know. I never went on it. A little late for me, but I think it's the way to go, and I hope it expands and other people do it.
I mean, it's kind of what we have going for us here, more than anything, the natural beauty.
Yeah, absolutely.
And there's also so many people who come for the parties and whatever,
Yeah.
and then you can get them to get on board with
Yeah.
the incredible nature that we have in town.
Yeah, if they're not too hungover the next day. Yeah. I'm for all of it.
Yeah.
Oh, and one more article of yours that I have to talk about because it's so relatable to us. It was very much the I work for 6 months and then I have 6 months where I can do whatever I want around the clock, and my time is completely my own.
Yeah.
So when you're not working, what else do you like to do?
Well, thank you for listening to my troubles. But what I fight for every day is time to write. And like painters and other artists, if you don't hardwire that into your day, one thing or another will drain it away. Like appearing on somebody's show. And the committee work. I've spent a lot of time this week. We're trying to save various pieces of land. I can't talk about it publicly, but there's a lot of behind the scenes work. I could talk about the East End Waterfront Park. I'm very much involved in the design of that park, and we're really trying, and oh, this is great, actually. It gives me a platform. Anybody who's older than I am, who may have some knowledge of the history of that site, we would be very grateful to have it. But, you know, what is hard for us to imagine is 1910, 1920, 1940, if you walk down Commercial Street, you couldn't buy a latte, you couldn't buy a hand knit sweater for your dog. It was all, you know, it was a working waterfront. I think it's hard for us to imagine that. And we're trying to bring that memory back to visitors and to residents. But there was a cannery there, there was a smokehouse, there was a freezer plant, and you know, and we're trying to bring that back. I spent a lot of time on these various committees as well. But yeah, you know, Andrew Yang was a ridiculous candidate for president, but he did have that idea about a guaranteed income for every American. And I thought about that, you know, if every citizen got 50,000, 100, whatever it would be, guaranteed, then if you wanted a Mercedes, or if you wanted to live in Providence, I'm sorry, well then you would have a job and earn more money. But if everybody had a guaranteed income, as I do to some extent, then you can contribute your time. You can enrich the community in which you live. You can work at the manor. You can work in the schools. You could work for the environment. You can clean trails. You could do any number of the things you can do, you know, and you would be in effect underwritten by your government.
Right.
And I think that's a great idea. Socialism, but great idea. That's my answer to what I do in the wintertime.
Excellent. Keep writing.
I will try to. I had an idea just between my car and here, actually.
Yeah.
I have a few things floating around. I also have fiction that always takes a back seat because I have this deadline for the column. But I'd like to get back. I have a piece called Provincetown Private Eye, which delves into various aspects of the town. But it's just sitting there. Maybe you'll see it someday.
Can't wait.
Right. Yeah, everybody pick up a copy of The Independent. This is Dennis Minsky. The Year Rounder is the name of his column. I obviously am a big fan of it. Thank you so much for your time and for everything that you're doing for the
Thank you
town.
so much.
I'm a fan of yours now.
Thank you. Thank you very much. We want to thank our sponsors, the Be Well Cannabis Dispensary, the Red Inn, Cafe Heaven, the Adam Howard Metal Workshop at 3 Brown, sailing.org.
Yeah, and thank you all for watching. We'll see you next Friday morning if we don't see you this Monday at Trivia. Thank you so much for watching, and thanks for waking up in Provincetown.
Wherever you are, happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Yeah, we'll see you next week.
Yeah.
Where's trivia? Here?
Here.
On Mondays at 6
Yeah,
o'clock.
we host it.
Terrible at trivia.
Really?